Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're just going to do a short update on Dex Finance, how I'm getting on with my current vault, and also just briefly go over some of the big news that happened over the last probably 2 or 3 weeks since my last video. So just before we jump into that, remember I'm currently running a giveaway. There's probably a couple of days still left, in about 7 days I think by the time you're seeing this video, left in it. So the link will be in the description, so make sure you get involved. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the Dex Finance platform. We're going to quickly just look at my vault and obviously get an idea of how it's going. So you can see here at the moment, obviously it's down. The markets are down in general. My original holdings in, I think, were up around $600, give or take. But happy still myself with this position I have, taken profit into the Dex ETF. So pretty much my profit is coming into all these form of all these tokens. If I want to try and withdraw, then I can easily burn the ETF into each of these assets. So happy enough for that. Good exposure. So risk level of the vault obviously is not very high. So obviously high risk is high, or high rewards, and with higher risk, our APY is 31%. So we're getting 0.09% per day on what we invest into this. So yeah, currently the TVL of the vault is 4,000, nearly 5,000. We have 3 wallets invested in it. So if you're interested to get involved, it's very easy to get into the vault. You literally come over here, find my link. The link will be in the description to the actual vault anyway, but you can see a CryptoHuntzman. You can deposit whatever you want to token into it. You can just deposit straight into it, and this deposit will break it into it, or you can do a multi-deposit. Again, you can break it down how much you want to put into it. Obviously a bit more gas fees in that. So yeah, that's the vault. As I said, if you're interested to get into it, again, jump into it, let me know in Telegram and stuff like that, so we can keep track on it. And I'd be also interested to see what other people have ideas for vaults, and try and build out a community around our own vaults if we could. So enough about the vault, my own personal vaults. What we'll do is we'll jump into Discord first and go through their announcements. We'll only go back up around here. I think it's probably the biggest ones. So the new Kanto farm. So for anyone who's not familiar, obviously I suppose the best thing would be their new chains. They've launched on Kanto, which was a couple of weeks ago. I think they launched on Kanto. But obviously the big one for me is this Phantom one. If you're not aware of it, and you probably are a little bit by now, I love Phantom. I love the whole Phantom ecosystem and stuff like that. So I will be looking to get into some of these vaults as well. If you watch Crypto Mischief, he talks a lot about the different yield farming options and stuff like that. So you're using different platforms like Life Trade website, I think it is, and you can earn a decent yield. But as I said, I recommend to watch his channel as well. I'll try and leave the link in the description as well. But he goes into different focus heavily on obviously the yield farming route in crypto, and something that I'm following as well is that kind of a way of earning. But look, you can see here straight away we have the EQ Bull one. You can see the tokens here. We have 150% APY, obviously higher risk in this, but it's Phantom MPX, and it's not what I bought. MPM, I think it was. No, sorry, I actually have the MPX. Sorry. So yeah, Phantom MPX. Decent APY again. Decent APY here on this. Just a Phantom USDC, 54%. That's a handy way to park your Phantom if you're looking on USDC, if you're looking to kind of dollar cost average into the position. So if we look into the profit of it, you can see this is 100% compounded back into it. So next harvest is 1 day, so every day this harvests back into itself, so it's constantly growing. So they take no profit on this one. We have Phantom USDT. We have another one here is Phantom Equal and Phantom Mummy token. Again, an interesting enough token as well. This is the ETF it's being paid out in, and harvest obviously 5 days because of the TVL amount in it is low. So the higher the TVL we get, the quicker and more often it does compound. So one of the ones I think actually is Crypto Mischief's one, hashtag stay DGen, 29%, 8 wallets invested in it. So we have Phantom Life token, Phantom the DexShare token, and Phantom BNB token. So again, an interesting enough one. We're taking 40% in profit, and we're taking into Ethereum and Phantom. And again, it auto harvests every 3 days, every 4 days possibly. So yeah, I think that's a big thing. Obviously, we have much more chains coming. I think this is a major thing to have more chains, more farms, and potentially to build up your farms and stuff like that. A really good way of doing it, I think. Anyway, so yeah. So as I said, we have the Canto. If you're interested in that, obviously, high APYs and that, you can look at this one for example, 3,000. So there's nearly 200,000 invested into this. We're taking 50% profit in Phantom or in Ethereum and USDC and harvesting then. So it is probably a good way to get exposure to different kinds. And if you had a bag of this, even the Canto and Atom token, you could get in 1.2% per day on these. So, the different chains offer high rewards. Obviously, there's a big risk of impermanent loss and things like that. So it's something to be aware of. But again, there's a lot of TVL locked up in Canto at the moment from just generally looking at them. So that's good. So if we obviously jump back to it, so I mentioned about the Canto, a recent partnership with Glacier partnership. So again, they're offering vaults and things for that for this project as well, which is shown they're expanding. Obviously, Avalanche chain, so that is in their list to get onto that chain as well. So a big one is obviously the Certic audit is finally complete. So if we quickly jump up here and we can see the Certic audit. So here it is of Dex Finance, 87 out of 100. For me, that is a decent score. It's ranked here in comparison to the other ones. Wing Finance is another one I used a long time ago, but you can see there's no critical errors. I think they're all have been resolved. Obviously the main errors anyway, but I think it's a good score to have. Obviously 87 of 100, and it's obviously good to show that they have an actual audit on it, and you can actually check and read up on the audit and set yourself anyway. After that, then we have obviously the audit. So if we jump over to Twitter, and there's some news on Twitter as well about them. So if you're not on Twitter, recommend you to follow me as well. Hopefully Dex Finance will listen to this and maybe might follow me as well. But obviously the news I mentioned is the Certic audit, scored in the top 25% of all projects. So that it's a good score. So we have, as I mentioned, the partnership with Glacier Finance. They're obviously an up and coming project that's started. So they're using Dex Vaults in their protocol. So a good way to build up a community, obviously in different chains for definite. They had a giveaway recently. There's one thing I'm wanting to bring your attention to. These are on a new platform. So a bridgeless Dex to launch on layer 1x blockchain. So as you may know, they have a partnership in place with EMP Money. So if you're not quite sure of what this is, layer 1x blockchain, I'd recommend you to check out an AMA done with AJ and Pocket Ace is basically done. It's only streamed there only 14-15 hours ago, so I'd recommend to watch this. It goes into a lot of information about EMP obviously, but also talks about the layer 1x blockchain. So it'll be very interesting to see what this is, if you're interested to learn more about it, and obviously see how the two will eventually link in together. So I think, again, if I remember, I'll try and leave the link in the description, so make sure you go check out his channel, subscribe to his channel obviously, and check out that AMA. He has a lot of good educational AMAs for definite, with a lot of different people, and it's a great way to keep up to speed on things. So there were the kind of major big ones. Probably for me personally, the one that I'm interested in is, where is this, up here somewhere? So it's the share token. So the share token itself, obviously the price of it, I mentioned it there a couple of months back that it was in this range. We got a big rejection down, and now we're down under the $22 mark, roughly what I had marked. We're down to $16. The token itself is going to, supply is going to be finished basically. I think I've seen somewhere in a couple of months, so possibly in a month or two, there's going to be no more DexShare tokens coming into circulation. So the emissions basically are finished. The benefits of that is when you're in the Dex Finance ecosystem in general. So if we go to Dex Finance and we enter into it, so if you can see in the Dex Finance here, this is the revenue that they've generated. Revenue is the real yield generated by the protocol via fees from our product. So you can see here they've generated, obviously we're in a bear market, so $230,000 have been generated. Now again, not 100% sure if this is in how long this has been. Is it since the inception? Is it the last month, year, 2 years, whatever the case may be? But again, they've generated that. By holding the DexShare token, it's going to give you the ability to earn a certain amount of fees from the platform. So, there is an incentive there for people to hold the token. I think it's something I'm going to be looking into now myself, obviously in the vault section. So if we have the DexShare token, so we have it here, you can get into 100%. By buying the token itself, you can throw it into this farm. It'll earn a little bit for you, obviously, but then again, you're getting the 0.12% on it, 0.12% on it per day. So obviously if you wanted it, you can take the profit into the Dex Max. So again, you're getting all elements of the ecosystem there. So it's a handy way to potentially take profit. If you want to just grow your bag, then you can obviously have, or don't take any profit, and 100% of it goes back into the compound to grow the bag. And then the aim there then is after when the mission stops for the DexShare, you hopefully have a decent bag that you can generate from the actual revenue from the platform or from the protocol in general. So there's nothing else major that I've seen. Obviously we mentioned about the partnerships, 50 days of Dex Vaults giveaway. So that's obviously we're on Phantom, so we're taking advantage of all the vaults or the liquidity pair and on Spooky Swap and other Phantom ecosystem projects or platforms. What else was I wanting to cover then? Yeah, so probably just a general recap for me. Happy with my vault running. Happy to have obviously some sort of exposure to the ecosystem. I really think that the whole Dex Finance, once the bull markets return, people are going to take advantage of this. Obviously the APYs are going to increase, token prices will also increase, but the best thing about it is getting into it now will allow you to compound into a bag and potentially grow a bag, but also taking profit. So again, in my case, I know it's only $4 worth of it, and people will argue, well, you're after losing whatever the case may be, $30 give or take on it. But short term, yes, I'm not looking at this from a short term point of view. I'm looking at this for a long term. I get involved in my risk plays that I plan to take money out very quickly. However, these kind of plays are more obviously long term for me, views of it. And I think the Dex Finance team, what they've built and how they've moved from what they originally were, is great to see. And I think people need to kind of be aware of 100% of how the vaults work. And I think there's not many other platforms doing something similar to this. I know you have Beefy that do it, but they're only offering you one single vault and you stake it in it and that's it. And they don't give you the opportunity to take a profit. Whereas with Dex Finance, you can take a profit. So like here, I can always take profit, and I'm also in growing these bags as well. So which is obviously great to have and see. So like if the price of things pump up again, this could be worth a decent few pound. The vault itself could be for whoever's invested in it, whatever tokens you have in it, and also whatever profit you have then is you have exposure to them tokens. So a lot more chains to come as well, so which is brilliant to see. Yeah, so look, we're going to leave it there for today. Yeah, hopefully it's quick enough overview of what's after changing with Dex Finance and going forward what will happen. So look, we're leaving it there. Thanks very much for taking the time and watching it, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you. Bye.